That's the quacks. That's the quacker right there, you know what I mean? The young quacker. What's up? You good, kitty? You like to get the love, the pets. You love that shit, huh? Yeah, kitty loves the pets, the rubs. You know what I mean? She just can't get enough of that shit. She for sure need all that, you know what I mean? Yo, what it do, everybody, man? It's your boy KSHOTEM and all that, man. Just right here kicking it, you know what I mean? Just relaxing and shit like that, man. You know what I mean? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today, man? Everybody doing good, feeling great, keeping that hate out your space. I hope so. You know what I mean? We just uploaded YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. You know what I mean? We just uploaded, you know what I mean? So go check out that new reel. You know, got Kitty in the back right here kicking back, you know what I mean? Kitty cat in the back kicking back, you know what I mean? 2 fingers and all that. Look, she's making herself real comfortable too. That's right. That's gang member right there, you know what I mean? Real SHOTEM gang member right there, you know what I mean? You see it. She thugging hard, you know what I mean? She thugging hard. Yeah, she thugging hard. You see what I'm saying? Like, she thugging hard out here in the yard. You know what I mean? So don't get it fucked up. Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good, my boy? What's good, everybody? What's good, Steph? What's good, my boy? What's good, 03? My boy 03 in the house and all that, man. 2 fingers, you know. Hey, I'm about to drop a video today talking about Jim Jones and, you know, talking about Jim Jones and Nas. Because, you know, the last couple of days, they've been talking about that, you know what I mean? They've been talking about, you know, how Jim Jones came out actually and was like, I'm as good as Nas, or I'm better than Nas. And it's like, wait a minute, pump the brakes, Jimmy Jones. Because, you know, Jim Jones definitely does not make the same type of music Nas makes, you know what I mean? But see, Jim Jones and Nas, comparing them is like comparing a lightweight to a heavyweight in a boxing ring. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way you could do it because, you know, they're 2 different artists. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, they're 2 different artists. You know what I mean? Like Nas, he's lyrically, you know, he's lyrical and shit like that. He was influential in the sense of like, you know, the type of music he made, but he just rapped about everything everybody else rapped about, like the streets, you know, the struggle, this and that, right? Dope game. But Jim Jones actually was influential, like with his fashion, you know, because there was a time where, and even right now, people wearing BB belts and, you know what I mean, pocket chains and shit like that. That shit came from back in the day, Diplomatics, you know what I mean? That shit was Jim Jones and them, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're talking hip hop, then yeah, Nas is gonna be better than Jim Jones, you know what I mean? But if you talking like fashion and shit, Jim Jones had better fashion, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, he probably still does till this day, but you know, you just can't compare Jim Jones and Nas in the sense of like music, you know what I mean? Because they're just 2 different artists. But see, right now, a lot of people are comparing them, this and that. But it's because Jim Jones went on an interview talking about how he's better than Nas. And it's like, bro, there's no way. Like, there's no way musically you could be better than Nas because he's not, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I made a little video from my phone. You know, I'm going to upload that on the shorts, Facebook, TikTok, and all that, you know, YouTube. So you're going to see that on there sometime today. I just got to edit it. I already shot the video, you know what I mean? But, you know, that was just a topic because, you know, people been doing that. Thoughts on South Park Mexican. I don't even know who that is. You know what I mean? Is that somebody? Yeah, I don't even know who South Park Mexican is, you know what I mean? Really don't know. You know what I mean? But you know, today we're gonna keep the spill real just like any other day. You know, we're gonna give you that work. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna do a reaction video today because, you know, there ain't really anything that I'm seeing unless somebody sends me something, then you know, I'll react to it. He said, I need a bracelet. Shit, go get one then, my boy. Shit. Only way to do it is just go do it. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna get it by talking about it, you know what I mean? But if you create that plan on how to get it, then shit, you're gonna get it, you know what I mean? Anything that you manifest, anything that you digest into your brain, it end up happening eventually, you know what I mean? You just gotta want it enough. You know, but that's with everything in life, you know what I mean? You gotta want that shit. You know, if you want that better job, you want to go to school to be a da 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 da, you know, everything comes down to you really wanting that, you know what I mean? That's why people they don't do certain shit that they don't really want because they're not destined for it, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of people out there like that. They'll talk about it, but if you really want to do something, then you put it up here and then you figure out on how to get it. It just comes to you, you know what I mean? Because you start working towards it without knowing it. But that's why you got to manifest things, you know what I mean? Like you got to put it in here for you to see it, right? If you never put it up here, how you going to see it now? How you going to envision something that you didn't put up here? You know what I mean? It's not how it works. You can't envision something that was never up here. You see what I'm saying? There's no way. You have to first envision it to make it happen, right? It just doesn't appear. Shit just doesn't poof. It's there, right? Oh, I always wanted that. Oh, I always no, that's not how it works. You gotta put it up here first to see it. You know what I mean? And that's how people do the things that they want to do. Just like me, I said I want to do this and that. I went and did it. I created it. You know, I said I want to go up on social media. I want to build this. You know, I went from 500 subscribers on YouTube to 15,000 in not even a year. Couple months, my shit was going up and up and up, right? But I said that. I said I'm gonna go up on YouTube. I'm gonna get all my shit cracking, whatever, right? You know, regardless of how the live looks right now, it's like a motherfucker really did that. Whenever I said I wanted this gold, I went and got it. I went and figured out a way on how to get it. Didn't nobody do shit for me. You know what I mean? Didn't nobody do shit for me. I promise you that. A motherfucker went off the grind. You know what I mean? Every day doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Grinding. Some days you don't make shit. You know what I mean? But you still went and got it, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like you manifest these things, you know what I mean? They just don't happen. Nothing in this world just happens. You know what I mean? Like it's all structured, it's all planned, it's all manifested in some way. And if some random ass shit happens, okay, that's great. But you can't base life off that. Because anything I was thinking about, I made happen, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because you can either sit back and talk about things or figure out how to do it, you know what I mean? But like I said, the only way to envision it is first by putting it up here. Oh, yeah, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, you know, that's what you call manifesting what you want to do, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I want the bracelet. I'm gonna start saving up. I'm gonna make investments, you know what I mean? And that's how you do it, you know? And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really want some shit, you're gonna figure out how to get it, right? That's why, like, if you really want that bracelet, you're gonna make it happen. You know, other people they just talk about shit. Oh, I want to do this, oh, I want that. It's like, nah. But see, you're taking the steps on acquiring it now. You're taking the steps to obtain these things, you know what I mean? And trust me, it don't lose no value. You see this diamond ring, this gold, it don't lose no fucking value. It stays looking good forever. For as long as I'm alive, for as long as I'm living, this is still gonna be shiny. It's still gonna hold its value, right? So those are the things that you know what I mean is worthy of manifesting, is the things that hold its value, right? So gold is definitely one of those things that you really can't go wrong on it. Unless it's like some custom made shit and you can't really resell it because they don't care about custom made shit. You know, that's the only bad thing about that. Oh yeah, that little chunky ring, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying though, like, you know, if we really want to make shit happen, we go do that shit, you know what I mean? Like everything that I do is following up to something and I don't even know what it is, but I know I'm doing it for a reason. You know what I mean? Like everything that I do, that I post and everything, like it all follows up to something. And you know what I mean? That's the most important thing is seeing result. You know what I mean? If you don't see results, sometimes you get discouraged. You know what I mean? So it's always good to see something come out of what you're doing. But sometimes you don't have to actually see them things. You just know what's happening, you know what I mean? Like you could feel that shit. Like right now, my live, it might not be popping like that right now, but I know I'm cooking up. You know what I mean? I know I'm cooking up. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm cooking up right now. You know what I mean? Straight like that. And see, that's the manifestating part, right? Is cooking up. I'm in the kitchen. I'm in the lab. You know what I mean? That's manifestating state right there. You know what I mean? Because we making it happen up here. That's why we see it in front of us. You know what I mean? Because we already put it up here. You know what I mean? And when you put it up here, it might drive you crazy. So now you have to make it happen, right? That's how manifestation works. You know what I mean? You don't settle for less. You feel me? Like you don't be like, oh, it's cool. Like nah. Like you be like, man, I'm gonna get to it. I ain't slacking on nothing. You feel me? Every day do the same thing. Oh yeah, yeah. The chains, it was nice. I'm gonna give me a big ass KSHOTEM pendant eventually. You know what I mean? But you know, when times get rough, that's the thing though. If you got real gold, when times get rough, you could sell that shit. You could get a little money out that shit. You know what I mean? That's what I did. I had like 5, 6, 7 grand. You know what I mean? Like a couple racks, homie. Yeah, I had a couple rackies and shit from that shit. You know what I mean? So that shit definitely was a good move, you know what I mean, to invest into some gold. Cause like I said, when times got rough, I sold that shit, got my monies out that shit. But see, you don't get your monies out of it because it was custom. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like a Cuban and shit like that. It was like custom made shit. So nobody's gonna want a KSHOTEM pendant. You know, they can't go and resell that. I mean, somebody's gonna want it, right? But for the most part, they're gonna melt that shit down, make it into a different piece or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what they do with really any custom piece. You know what I mean? They're gonna do that shit. Even if it was like some famous motherfucker, like they still gonna melt that bitch down. They don't give a fuck. They trying to get their monies out that shit. But you know what I mean? That's just what it's about. You know what I mean? Doing the things that actually, you know, make sense and shit like that. Some people, they buy that fake ass jewelry, but it don't last, and then you can't resell it. So it's literally just trying to fool people on thinking that you're this or that. I fucking hate that shit. I can't stand motherfuckers that buy fake ass jewelry trying to make it seem like it's some real shit. I hate that shit, man. I just can't stand that type shit, man. Like for real, like I can't stand that type shit. Cause you know, a motherfucker like me that goes and gets it off the muscle, off the grind, the struggle, like I'm gonna look down on that motherfucker. I'm gonna be like, boy, the hell's wrong with you? Like, I'm over here, you know what I mean, getting out the muscle. Like what the hell? Like, motherfuckers over here trying to make me believe they shit real. Like, nah, that shit both. Like, that shit fake as fake, boy. The fakery. You know what I mean? And that's just what that comes down to, you know. That's why it's better to be authentic in the world for a lot of different reasons. You know, you got to be authentic out here for a lot of different reasons. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different reasons why it's important to be real, to be authentic, to be who you are. You know what I mean? I could really list a lot of things. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that comes with that. If you want to be one of them type motherfuckers that buy fake shit, try to flex it and all these things, you know what I mean? Because a motherfucker like me, I'm gonna look down on that shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, I respect the motherfucker that grinding his ass off to go buy what he bought. Not a motherfucker that wants me to believe that he got it off the grind. He really hustled for this, you know what I mean? Hey, what you doing? Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't respect motherfuckers like that, you know what I mean? Like motherfucker over here capping and shit for the gram, you know, for YouTube and shit. Like, nah, you gotta be real, you know what I mean? Cause people feel that. People don't feel people that ain't real. Because if you could go buy some fake jewelry, I'm just gonna assume you a fake ass motherfucker. I'm just gonna assume you a fake phony ass mug. You know what I mean? I'm gonna assume your shoes fake, your bitch fake, your personality fake. Everything about you, in my eyes, is fake. If you could go around talking about like, man, I got that bust down chain, and it ain't bust down. It's fake as a mug. I'm assuming everything about you now is just the same. Because you already showed me that you have it in you to wear some shit, act like it's real, and then just pretend. You know, we don't do the acting, you know, so that's where, you know what I mean, this shit really just, you know, makes me a comedian. You know, I turn into the biggest comedian whenever I see that type shit. You know, I'm a comedian. That's why I be clowning a lot of shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be clowning a lot of shit, bro, because like it's all jokes to me. It's just a big old comedy skit to me. Hip hop. This shit is clown shit now. This whole shit is clown shit now, you know what I mean? So the jewelry fake, the rap's fake, the image fake, like everything fake, you know what I mean? These motherfuckers' whole facade, their whole shit is fake. They made that shit cool or some shit, you know what I mean? They made that fake ass foolery cool. It ain't cool to be fake. It ain't cool to make people believe some shit that ain't true. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, the fuck is that? That's a definition of fake. The definition of fake is somebody trying to act real. You know what I mean? When really they just covering up their fake shit. You know what I mean? So a motherfucker that wears a fake chain and tries to act like it's real, I mean, he just a fake ass motherfucker. Oh yeah, niggas be out trying to fake. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and they do it for they do it for girls, but for dudes too. They do it for Instagram. They do it to try to make themselves seem like they're this or that instead of just going and hustling for it, going and getting off the grind. You know what I mean? Like the shit that people respect. You know what I mean? Like, don't nobody respect a motherfucker that bought a fake ass chain and you over here trying to act like it's real. Don't nobody respect that shit. Hell, even a motherfucker with a fake chain don't respect that shit. And he got a fake chain. You see what I'm saying? Even a motherfucker with a fake chain, but he can't say nothing because he wearing some fake shit too, right? So there you go. Like, you know, it just like, it goes back to quality of character though. If you somebody that holds quality of character, you ain't gonna have it in you to buy a fake chain or fake this or fake that. You know what I mean? Be a fake ass motherfucker. You ain't gonna have it in you. You know, because you take too much pride on being a real one. You know what I mean? Like you can't stand on that shit. So that's why you don't ever see me in no fake jewelry, no fake this, no fake that. For what? I'd rather just be me. You know what I mean? Like I ain't trying to live up to anybody else's like expectation of how I should be. You know what I mean? I'm me. And that's how everybody should be out here. You know what I mean? The minute you care about what another person thinks, you just lost. Now, that's different when you're wearing some fake shit, though. You know, you got to care about what motherfuckers think because it's like you trying to fool people. Now, you don't have to care about what people think if you just being you being real. You don't have to care about what people think. But if you a fake ass motherfucker, then you gonna care about what everybody gotta say, what everybody think. Cause they call shit out. They all this, all that, all that, all that. When you trying to finesse the image. But a real motherfucker, he could just stand on shit. Yeah. Oh, it's a real ring. Oh, it's this real. Oh, that's real. Yeah, I'm a real one. Like you could take pride in it. Cause you know you a real one. But a motherfucker that fake, hell nah. He running from shit. He trying to make you believe some shit. Yeah. Instagram views is bullshit. Bots, you know what I mean? Hey, some of these motherfuckers' comments are even fake. You see what I'm saying? So a motherfucker like that can't be trusted, right? Ain't no way you gonna sit there and trust a fake ass motherfucker, you know what I mean? So if a motherfucker can wear a fake anything, then To me, that tells me who he is. That just tells me who he is. Because that's an action. You know what I mean? That's an action. You know what I mean? What you can see, you're like, oh, he did this. Oh, he does that. Oh, he does that. That's an action. So anything after that, you don't need to hear what anybody got to say. Because you're just going off of the actions. You know what I mean? What's actually being done. And that's why if a motherfucker wears fake jewelry, that's an action. So that means you condone fakery. You're okay with being labeled as like fake because that's what you're living like, you know what I mean? So, but that's his rap game, you know what I mean? Rap game flip flop, fake as hell, you know. Very very few real ones out there, you know what I mean? Very very few real ones out there. Everybody's trying to live up to an image because that's what they think that they need to be, but you really don't need to be all that. You know, there's people out there that will respect an artist if he comes out and raps his life and talks about him being, you know, having no money and shit like that. A motherfucker probably gonna respect that motherfucker way more once they find out a motherfucker faking shit. You know, once they find out you faking some shit, your whole shit's done. You know what I mean? Your whole shit's done. But if you was real from the go, you don't got nothing to worry about. What? Not being accepted by people? That shit don't mean nothing. As long as you know you real and you keep it like that, that's all that matters. So it could be jewelry, it could be Instagram and followers and bots and all that shit, right? Anything you do and you know it's real, can't nobody say shit about it. But the minute you do some fake shit, you wear some fake jewelry, you buy some Instagram followers that are bots, you're fake. You a fake ass motherfucker. There ain't no turnaround from that. There is no turnaround from that. That's just what you do. That's who you are. But a motherfucker that's real, he don't gotta worry about that. Only thing he gotta worry about is some weirdo, random D riding ass, hating ass motherfuckers. That's it. But the way you stand, the shit you do, it's real. So regardless if somebody wants to acknowledge that or not, they know it. And that's all you need to know. He's like, motherfucker want to be the top dogs with all the chains and girls. Yeah. But see, if the shit ain't real, once everybody or anybody knows that shit fake, it's out the window. You know what I mean? That shit's out the window. Because don't nobody respect that type shit. I mean, I know I don't. And see, I know when motherfuckers wearing that fake ass foolery. Man, I know when they wearing that shit, man. Especially when you start to look at people's lives, where they live at, how much they supposedly got on, right? I'm like, come on, brother, man. Like, you drive a Honda Accord, fool. Like, how the fuck do you have what, like $50,000 worth of jewelry if it was real? How the fuck? Like, why don't you have at least a Beamer or Benz or some shit? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, if a motherfucker wearing $50,000 worth of jewelry on him, I'm assuming your car is at least a Benz. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not even like into car shit like that, like standard shit like that. I'm just saying though, if you wearing all this fucking bread, then how come you can't afford something better than a Honda? So it don't make no sense, right? Once you start to look at every ins and out, you know motherfucker capping. Now if a motherfucker stays in a mansion and he got $50,000 on his neck, makes sense, right? But a motherfucker wearing 50,000 supposed to be on his neck, but he still live in the hood, that don't make no fucking sense. That's not a thing, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers got a house around the corner from the hood. You see what I'm talking about? They moved out that bitch if they wearing 50,000 on their neck. They moved out that bitch. They around the corner, if anything, you know what I mean? So once you start to really look at all those things, you know motherfuckers ain't got it, you know what I mean? So there's no point to fool people because there's a motherfucker like me that has a sense. You see what I'm talking about? And it don't got nothing to do with being a hater. It's just like, you want to know what's real, right? You don't want to entertain some fake ass shit. And see, people got the game fucked up. They think the only thing that's bad is like the street shit. Like gang banging, not being PC, not being a pedo, like all these type of things, right? But it is that, but it's also just being a real motherfucker, right? Like, people should be more focused too on being a real person. You know what I mean? Because all that other shit, it don't hold no weight. You know, being a fake ass, phony ass motherfucker, like, that don't hold no weight. The only weight it holds is going straight down to the bottom of the floor. That's the only weight it's gonna hold, going downwards. You know, being a real one, you just going up. You know, you gonna connect to people too a lot easier because, you know what I mean, you're an honest person, you a real one. You know what I mean? Don't nobody want to be around no fake ass foolery. Because what happens when you know somebody on some fake shit? Do you still fuck with them? Do you still fuck with a person when you know you done figured out they on fake shit? You don't. You get from around that shit. You're like, man, I don't want to spend no time with this shit. It's the fakest shit I've been around, right? So that's what you do, right? So the minute people know you faking some shit, you just done. Your whole shit gone. So that's why when you talk about hip hop too, you gotta make sure you authentic. You gotta make sure you real. You gotta make sure you. And you for sure don't gotta make, and you for sure gotta make sure you ain't trying to be like nobody else. You know? Cause the minute you trying to be like somebody else, shit, everybody else could tell. Cause you wasn't like that last year. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, you gotta be you. And yeah, fake ass nigga, they gonna snake and do all these things. You know, a fake motherfucker gonna act like he fuck with you and then in a month go start talking shit about you. You know, talk about you on a story to other people. You know, a snake ass, fake ass motherfucker, you know what I mean? He go slither how he slither, you know what I mean? But a motherfucker like me knows what it is. That's why I got this tattoo right here. The snake with the head cut off. Yeah, I got that shit, man, to, you know, keep myself away from snakes. Yeah, man, I got the snake right there. You know what I mean? To stay away from snakes. You digging? That's why we get tattoos, man, because they all symbolize something. You know what I mean? And that's some shit you can't fake. You can't fake a tattoo, you know what I mean? That shit's on you. That shit's on you forever. There ain't no faking that. You know what I mean? You just gotta deal with what comes with it. Yeah, you gotta deal with what comes with it, you know what I mean? That's it. Like, there ain't no faking no tats, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm trying to say. Like motherfuckers gotta get more in tune with self and being who they are. Stop trying to be like somebody else or look at somebody else and be like, oh, I like that. Like, do what you like to do. You know, a lot of people just, you know what I mean? They look at the next man for a lot of different things. But see, if you're looking at the next man for something, then you're a son. You're not a father. You know what I mean? Somebody's gonna look at a motherfucker like me, right? Because I'm the father, they the son, right? So that's what that should come down to, though. You know what I mean? But see, if you always gonna attract motherfuckers that just fuck with you. You know what I mean? Understand what you want. But a fake motherfucker only gonna attract a fake motherfucker. You know what I mean? Fake motherfuckers ain't gonna attract real motherfuckers. Cause a real motherfucker gonna know who's fake. You know what I mean? Yeah, real motherfucker gonna spot that fake shit from a mile away. You know what I mean? Cause that fake shit, it's a lot like a lot of other things that is fake, right? And what you'll realize about that is there's a lot of different ways people can be fake. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of different ways people can show that side. And some people are really good at it. Hiding shit, putting shit like behind them type shit, you know? They call it wearing a mask. When they don't let you know what's really real. Because what's up here, they might tell you something completely different. You know what I mean? A motherfucker could be thinking something up here, but he gonna tell you something completely different. That's not him being real now. You know, there's no way you could be real if you don't speak your actual mind. And a lot of people do this where they don't tell you what it really is, but they say some other bullshit. Oh, da, 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 da. They go around what they should be saying. But me, I just say what comes in my head. So you know it's real, right? That's how you know it's real, though. A motherfucker that fake, he trying to make you believe some shit. I'm not trying to make you believe nothing. I'm just saying what it is. You know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers, like, they try to make you believe shit. Believe they this, believe they that. Oh, I'm balling this and that. You gotta sit and watch. Oh, yeah. You gotta sit and watch, you know what I mean? That's for sure. You gotta sit, watch, observe, you know what I mean? See how people move. First, watch how they talk, but don't make any sudden moves. You gotta see how people move around. See how them words act out, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they just saying a lot of shit. They don't mean nothing. They ain't living no way. They just saying some shit, you know? Oh, no. What the fuck? Like, it don't mean nothing. Yeah, a lot of people, they say a lot of things and it don't hold no weight. You know, it don't hold no value, you know what I mean? But see, the shit I be on, it holds weight, it holds value, you know what I mean? So people feel it. But a lot of people don't feel a lot of people out there, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people be bullshit, you know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers trying to make you believe something that ain't even there. You know what I mean? Straight up. But the things that I talk about, you could see. You know, I talk about this. Oh, I showed you it. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I show you shit and then talk about it. I don't talk about it first. Unless I'm talking to myself about it. You know, if I'm talking to myself, I'm manifesting it. But y'all don't hear nothing unless I know it's already been done. That's what's real, right? If I start talking about it right now, like, it ain't done yet. So it ain't real because it's not done yet. You know what I mean? But the things that I talk about, I could show y'all, right? But that's what you call somebody that lives through action now. I ain't here to just talk. I ain't here to just be like, oh yeah, nah, none of that. We here to talk about what it really is, not what it ain't. Because what it ain't, it's not valid. So why talk about it? You see what I'm saying? But see, a lot of people, they're not effective. So they don't know how to understand and obtain the things. Just like I'm saying, you know, buying fake jewelry and all those type of things being fake. Now you just a fake ass motherfucker, right? Now it's sad because a lot of people don't even understand that that's them being a fake ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't understand these qualities, these principles. It's called that's why. Oh, you already know. I keep it 10 toes flat and all that. But that's what I'm saying though, right? Real people going to attract real people. You know what I mean? A real motherfucker ain't going to attract a fake motherfucker because a fake motherfucker knows it's too much for him to handle. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to see right through that fake motherfucker. You know what I mean? So that's why real people is like a dying breed almost. You know what I mean? Like, there's not enough out there anymore because most people are fake. So they're running from things. They're putting masks on. They're smiling. And it's not that. You know what I mean? So I stand on shit though, you know what I mean? And I definitely don't condone the fakery, the fake foolery. I can't stand that shit, man. Why do you think I just be on on my chat, on live and making videos by myself? Like, bro, I don't want to deal with nobody. Man, I already man. If y'all know what I know from this shit, man, you wouldn't want to deal with nobody either. You know what I mean? You wouldn't want anything to do with nobody, you know what I mean? Trust me, like, you feel me? Like, that shit whack, you know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers don't hold value out here, you know what I mean? And it's true. And I know it because I seen it, you know what I mean? I seen it for myself. I peep game, you know what I mean? And that's how I know what I know now, right? I'm only speaking about the things because I seen it for myself. You know what I mean? I seen how shit is. This shit, boof. You know what I mean? Hey, but that's why they scared of somebody like KSHOTEM because I'm a real one. You feel me? I don't care about how people feel, what they think. I'm gonna tell you what it is, not what it ain't. The fuck? You know what I mean? The fuck? Like, but see, if I was some fake ass, phony ass motherfucker, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to be so real. Cause now you gotta live by that. You know, you start talking a certain way, doing this, showing that, you better stand on that shit, you know what I mean? What the fuck? But a fake motherfucker can't do that. A fake motherfucker can't. be honest, be real. Like, he can't do that. Because the first thing that comes to his mind is, how am I going to make this person believe something else that is not true, right? So people are just built to be fake nowadays. You know what I mean? It could, like I said, it could be jewelry. It could be the personality of somebody. Like, you feel me? Like, just everything. You know what I mean? Like, a motherfucker could just be that fake. You feel me? Every day he wake up, you know what I mean? He put on that fake skin. Just like these tats, they don't come off, right? They don't come off, right? They don't come off, right? No way it could be fake then. That's an action. They don't go nowhere, you know what I mean? This is me every single day. That's some real shit right there, you know what I mean? I can't run and hide. I can't be like, oh shit, there's a judge. Oh shit, there's a cop. They gonna all look at me the same way, right? Or even a regular person, oh, they gonna look at me the same way, right? So, but see, the most beautiful thing about being me is being able to prove people wrong. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best shit about being KSHOTEM, man. Like, a motherfucker that might think this, think that is just being able to show them that they're so wrong. You know what I mean? And that shit gets me off. Yeah, that shit gets my Woody going, you know what I mean? Because it's like, man, you feel me? It just shows like how judgmental the world is and how wrong the world is. You know what I mean? And I seen it for myself, trust me. I seen that shit, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I done seen a lot from this world, man. Not only from the hip hop culture, I'm talking about just in the general, you know what I mean? It made me it made me very like bright in those areas, you know what I mean? Very smart in those areas. I ain't gonna hold you. It wisened me up in a lot of different areas. You know, having tattoos as well, bro. That shit for sure wisened me up a lot. You know what I mean? Man, y'all don't even know the type of shit I learned from having tattoos. You know what I mean? I learned so much shit having tattoos, bro. That shit crazy. Like, people don't know. But if you don't have a whole body full of tattoos like me or whatever, then you're not gonna understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But shit, there's a lot to obtain off of this lifestyle that I live. You feel me? Like the tats and everything. You know what I mean? And I've learned a lot. They call it being on a journey too. You know what I mean? And through that journey, I definitely obtained a lot of things up here. You know what I mean? I learned a lot. And it wasn't only tattoos, it's like dealing with women, you know, dealing with society, you know what I mean? Society before tattoos, society after tattoos, it's a big difference, you know what I mean? You got to think about it almost like being reborn almost, right? Because how you were without tattoos, people treated you different than with them, right? That's why I kind of understand like how Hispanics, blacks, Samoans, whoever, they feel. Because I am the minority, you know what I mean? Like, it don't matter if I'm American or not. Like, you know, I'm looked at no different than a motherfucker with a prison record, a drug addict, and all these other things that I'm not. You feel me? So, but see, that's why tattoos got me so smart, because I learned a lot about people. I learned how the world is really judgmental. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers don't know you from a can of paint, but they gonna assume. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. But that's the world we live in. You know, but that's why I'm a real one, you know what I mean? Because I could see through all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I could see through all that shit. From the minute I talk to somebody the first time, I see right through them. Right through them. X-ray vision on that motherfucker, man. I could read somebody so easy and fast because of my tattoos as well. You know what I mean? Because I could see in their eyes if they're judging or not, what they're thinking something of, right? You can see it in them right when you meet somebody, right? So a motherfucker can't really be fake to me because I'm looking at him in his eyes. And like they say, your eyes don't lie, right? So if you really want to know the truth about something, you look at somebody right in their eyes and you see how they react. You see if they turn away, you know they lying. Yeah, man, it ain't hard. It ain't hard, man. Because when you connect soul to soul now, they can't run from that because it's gonna drive them crazy. Yeah, man, I'm a smart motherfucker, bro. That's why motherfuckers can't take me. They can't handle me. You know what I mean? It's too much force for them to deal with. I don't blame them though. You know what I mean? You can't be a sheep fucking with wolves. Yeah, you can't be a sheep fucking with wolves. You feel me? If a motherfucker a wolf, you better let that motherfucker eat. Get up out his way. If you a sheep, better let that motherfucker eat. Cause then you gonna get ate. Shit. And that's just how it is, man. It's a dog eat dog world out there. Oh, like they say, only the strongest survive, right? And it's true. But being strong is up here. You gotta be strong up here first. If you ain't strong up here, you ain't strong nowhere else. Even a body, right? You want a strong body? You first have to have a strong mind. You don't get a strong body without having a strong mind. The fuck? Like, it's not how it works. You think people that go to the gym every single day, they don't have a strong mind? Yeah, they do. They for sure do. It's called self-discipline. If you have self-discipline, then you have a strong mind. If you're building a strong mind, you're building a strong body too. Because if you want to get in shape, then you could, because you have a strong mind. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. To manifest, it's up here first, and then you see it, right? You first have to put it up here to see it. Strong mind, right? It's all up here. It starts right here in your mind. You got to create it, right? So somebody with a strong mind, they could pretty much do anything they need to do in life. Now, you're a strong mind and you're a real one, you're a force. You're a force. Can't nobody mess with you now. Yeah, can't nobody mess with you. Because if they're weak-minded, you already won. Yeah, if you're weak-minded, then you already won the situation because, you know, you're strong-minded. You see what I'm saying? So if you got a strong mind, you can't be defeated, really. And then you're a real one, they can't fuck with you. Why do you think they can't fuck with me? Because I hold every quality that these motherfuckers don't have. And see, I've already given away too much. You see what I'm saying? This is the type of information people got to pay for. You see what I'm saying? But the only reason why I'm not tripping, because there's not a lot of people here right now. Or else I'll be telling people to donate. But the shit I be talking about and on, bro, is real shit. Real brain food. Real shit people learn from. That's why when motherfuckers don't want to pay me anything, I'll be like, bro, like, you don't know who you dealing with right now. You know what I mean? Because clearly, you can't do these things. Another motherfucker can't do it. Or else he wouldn't be coming to me about it. Like me, I don't go to nobody. I go to KSHOTEM. Yeah, you ain't never seen me go to nobody else. I go to KSHOTEM. You feel me? But you know, a strong individual go stand alone. A strong individual don't need not one person around him. Whether it's good or bad, he don't need not one person around him. A strong individual could step all by himself without caring about an army. You digging? And that's what that comes down to. You feel me? Strong individuals are always going to win the battle. It all starts up here, though. You got to be strong-minded first, though. If you're not strong-minded, then nothing else is going to work in your life. Nothing. Everything will fucking shatter. If you don't have a strong mind, everything in your life will shatter. Everything in your life will not happen. It won't go any further than what you're thinking about. Because you first have to have a strong mind, right? If you just think something and it doesn't happen, that means you don't have a strong enough mind to turn into an action. You know what I mean? It all starts with having a strong mind up here, you know what I mean? And then you see the results in front of you. You don't get results any other way. You first have to manifest everything, you know what I mean? Once it's up here, you can start seeing it. But see, like I said before, you don't get that by being a fake motherfucker, though. You know what I mean? There ain't no way you could be a strong individual up here if you a fake motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because you can't even believe your own shit. You can't even believe your own things that you do unless you're telling yourself it's fake. But why would you want to live a fake life then? Wear this fake, wear that fake, do this fake. Like, why would you want to do that? I feel like every fake ass person gets to a point in their life where they don't want to be fake no more. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. Because think about it. Say you're fake your whole life, right? And then you realize being fake is just not the move. You want to be real now? How the fuck do you do that? You know what I mean? You have to reprogram. You know what I mean? You got to start telling yourself what it really is. Hey, man, I wear this bullshit. I wear fake Louis V. I wear fake gold, fake chains. I wear fake this. Am I okay with that? No. Let me change it. You feel me? Like, I feel like everybody that's fake, they might get to that certain point where it's just not it no more because they realize it didn't do nothing for them. They realize that people found out and now they have that image of being just fake. It's not even like the fake chain. It's just not, you just a fake ass motherfucker, right? And then they want to start being real. But that's not how it works, you know what I mean? That's not how it works. But now if you reprogram up here, you might be having a chance to be a real one. But you first got to reprogram this thing up here. You know what I mean? You gotta reprogram the shit that you be doing that's fake, take it out of your life, and replace it with only being authentic now. That's the only way you be a real one. By authenticity. Like you don't the fuck like this is what I'm trying to say though, right? Motherfuckers don't understand these things. They don't understand how to actually be real. But see, if you have to explain that to somebody, then they ain't never gonna be real. You know what I mean? Because it gotta be within you. Nobody else can influence you to be a real one. Like you have to know how to be real to yourself first. You know what I mean? Like if you don't even know how to be real to yourself, then how the fuck you gonna be real to somebody else? How? If you can't keep it real with yourself, how you gonna be real to somebody else? It's just like this, right? Say if you cheat, right? How you gonna find a girl that you want to be faithful to if you a cheating ass motherfucker, right? If you a cheating ass motherfucker, you a cheating ass motherfucker. That's just all it comes down to, right? If you want to be, this and that, that's what you go be. You know what I mean? 10 toes flat and all that, man. See, a lot of people just got the game messed up, reversed. They don't understand how to be authentic, original, themselves. Nobody knows how to do that now, you know what I mean? And that's sad. And it's typically the hip hop culture. It's typically music culture. It's typically like, it's average people too, because average people look up to the culture, right? So an average person looks up to that shit. That's why you find those girls wanting to be bad bitches, right? Because they seen Cardi B or one of these other girls. I was like, you feel me, doing this and do that. So at the end of the day, it all goes back to the culture, right? Because the culture is what's influential. But that's why people within the culture need to fix how they see shit, how they move, how they think. And there's no possible way I could be the only motherfucker speaking about what's fake and real and being able to break it down. Now, you know who's fake out there. Now you know who's fake. How many platforms talk about this shit? How many platforms entertain the same shit? Yeah. How many platforms promote the same shit? A lot. They all do that. Because they all followers. This person posted, I'm going to post the same shit. That's what they do. Because the whole culture is a bunch of followers, dick pullers, you know what I mean? Oh, God, like, that's why I don't even care about this shit like that no more. Like, this shit dumb. Like, it's a bunch of fucking fake-ass buffoonery, you know what I mean? Like, shit ain't real, man. That's why a real motherfucker like me don't want to be around no shit like that. The fuck? I don't want to be around no fake-ass shit. The fuck? That's real talk, real spill, holy feel. You feel me? Like, but that's just somebody coming from my perspective. You know what I mean? Somebody that stands 10 toes, not 5 toes. I stand with 2 feet, not one. I'm 2 feet in, not one. You see what I'm talking about? So I don't understand how other people move. I don't understand how a motherfucker could do this, do that. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I get what I do. Shit. I know what I do holds weight. Fuck is you talking about? You see what I'm saying? That's real. I ain't trying to be nobody else other than KSHOTEM. You see the backdrop? You see the tattoo on my head type shit? You see all my tattoos, you feel me? It's a K thing, you feel me? You know, all this shit, man. It's KSHOTEM, man. I ain't trying to be like nobody. I'm trying to be like KSHOTEM, you know what I mean? And that's the most important thing, man. You gotta be like you. Don't try to be like another motherfucker, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you never gonna be another motherfucker. Nobody ever gonna be another person. So why take the time on trying to be in something you're not? And I blame females for this type of shit, right? Because females do this more than dudes. They get the lip filler, they get the haircuts, like they do everything to try to look like either this girl or that girl. You know, I hate that shit. Oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I got a little stash on me. Yeah, you know, I hate that shit about people, you know what I mean? People trying to be like other people, you know what I mean? Like, that shit's fucking annoying. You know what I mean? That shit's annoying as hell. Even tattoos, too, you know? Some people get the same ass tattoos as other people. I fucking hate that shit, too. I fucking hate that shit. And I appreciate you, Moni. You already know I got the stash on me. You already know we're just keeping the spill real today, you know what I mean? Hey, man. Real quick, make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch too. Twitch, KSHOTEM. Go follow me on TikTok at KSHOTEM. You know, everything KSHOTEM. You know what I mean? You go on any platform, you type in KSHOTEM, I'm going to pop up, man. Go follow me. Go subscribe to all my pages and all that shit, man. Hell yeah, I appreciate you. Hey, that's much love and appreciation. You know what I mean? You know we be talking that shit on this side. We be keeping it real. We be keeping the spill authentic. You know what I mean? We don't be on this motherfucker line about shit, you know what I mean? We just gonna keep you 100. We keep the bit 100 on here, you know what I mean? Too much fake shit out there, man. Too much fake ass, baloney ass shit out there nowadays, you know what I mean? Like, ain't no way to be other than real. But that's a mentality. You know, what people don't understand is being real is a mentality. It's a mentality. It's not like just an action. Like, oh, I'm going to be real. I'm going to make sure I'm real. Nah, it's a mentality. You know, you got to have it up here first. You got to have that quality. You know what I mean? If you don't have that quality, then you ain't going to be real. You know, you're going to find any reason to be fake then. But you first have to think about it up here. You know what I mean? You first have to know it. Like, start living more truthful to yourself. You know, people that start living more truthful to themselves, life is a little easier now. You know what I mean? You could spot when a motherfucker lying or fake when you true to yourself, you know what I mean? And that's how you find that real shit. You don't find real shit by being fake. You know what I mean? Now a fake person always gonna want to be around some, you know, authentic shit because they trying to be like that. Yeah, fake motherfucker gonna, you know what I mean, try to be around it because that's what they trying to be like. They trying to be around you to think like you, see how you think, see how you do things. You know what I mean? That's what fake people do. They call them snakes, slithering around. You know what I mean? They be slithering around. I don't know why it's too hard for some people to keep it real. Oh yeah. A lot of people they don't know how to keep it real. You know what I mean? They trying to make people believe things that ain't there. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's like a drug in itself. That's like the social media drug, where everybody thinks that it's about painting a picture now, instead of just showing them your life. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't show people their lives. They try to make you believe they're living a certain life. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me take a picture by this Hummer. Oh, we're in this nice area. Let me take a picture by this mansion to make it seem like I was here for a couple minutes, or I'm doing business over here. You know, put a bullshit caption. You know, at the homie's crib in fucking Malibu or some shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, just the whole shit now is all because of social media and how it's, you know, how people digest it. And it's because people see rappers and people that having money and they want to be like that. But, oh, yeah, no. Hey, I know a rapper that does that. Yeah, I know a rapper that he rents his cars out and he only goes on his story when he's in a new rented car. But it's like, bro, these are a whole bunch of different cars. Like, you don't own none of these. So what happens when people know that you just living for an image? Your whole shit's gone. Your rap career, your image is nothing. Because anything that person does from that point on, it's fake. I'm just going to assume like, that's fake. That's fake. He's probably trying to make us believe this. That's just what I'm going to think. Which, that's how anybody should think. It's just like a girl, right? If she shows you like a little bit of like hoe shit, tricking shit, whatever, how you going to look past certain things, you know what I mean? Like, because those are actions, you know what I mean? Once certain things are revealed, you have no choice but to just look at it for what it is. And that's the thing about knowing what it is and not what it ain't, right? The fake and the real, you know what I mean? Knowing what it is and not what it ain't. See, a lot of people want you to know what it ain't, you know, not what it is. And trust me, those are two big old different things. And that's what a lot of people they forget that there's a lot of different things to life. Say like a way of thinking about something, there's two different ways to think about it. So people choose to think how they think, do what they do, be a fucking fake shady person, right? They do that from this, you know what I mean? And this, sometimes this you can't see. But that's why you base people off of their actions, not words. Because a word is only a made up sound. You know, I could tell you I have $1 million right now and you might believe me. Hell no, I'm broke. You know what I mean? I got some jewelry. We live in this crib. Motherfucker gets paid off YouTube and other shit. But hey, I ain't got no fucking job. You know what I mean? I'm thugging it. You feel me? But that's the real shit, right? I ain't lying. It is what it is. But because I'm able to be real, I don't have to worry about what people think. Because I already told you what it is. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to remember a lie. In a month or two, I don't got to remember what I said today. I don't. Because I was real. Oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? It's always love and respect on this side. You know what I mean? You know, I done went through a lot of shit. You know what I mean? I done seen a lot of faces. And I seen a lot of them faces change colors. You see what I'm talking about? So, you know, a motherfucker really done seen a lot of shit. So I just keep it real. I talk about the shit I know about. You know what I mean? And I for sure know about it. Like I said, I got the snake right there for a reason. You know, the snake cut off and shit. The snake with the head cut off. Yeah, man, I got that because I can't be around no snake fake ass shit. You know what I mean? If it's not 100, then what we talking about? That's why I can't sit there and bullshit people. Just like a girl, right? If I'm gonna hang out with a girl, it's like, all right, when, where, let's get it cracking. Oh, this, that. We ain't just talking to talk. It's like, hey, we gonna link up. We gonna talk business. We gonna talk about ideas. Like, what are we really doing? You know what I mean? And if we're really doing it, all right, let's get it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, what you really doing, right? It's all about actions. If there's no action behind what's being said, then we just talking. Don't nobody want to just talk about shit. Like, we want to know what's real. You know, people want to know what's real out here. And that's the biggest problem about social media. All right, I'm going to say it. The biggest problem about social media is people actually do want to find the truth. They do want to know what's real. But that's not what gets out there. The fake shit gets out there. People want to see entertainment, which is the fake shit. The minute you put on some real shit, don't nobody care. Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck all that, you know, talking about this, talking about that. We talk about what, you know what I mean? Make that shit happen, you feel me? And that's the most important thing about life, is making shit happen, knowing you can make it happen, knowing how to make it happen. You see what I'm saying? Knowing how to do some shit is everything. You hold the keys now. You figure some shit out, shit, man. You got the key now. You see what I'm talking about? But talking, you're never gonna figure it out by talking. You know what I mean? The fuck? Like, you ain't never, you know. Oh yeah. Don't nobody become successful over just talking, that's for sure. You know, now manifesting, that's your soul, you know what I mean? That's your spirit talking to you, you know what I mean? That's a different thing. You know, that's a whole nother thing, you know what I mean? But for sure, if people just talk about things, you know, they're never gonna see it in front of them. But now you start talking to yourself about things, now you're talking, right? Because if you just talk about it, you're just releasing shit, right? But if you tell yourself it every day, you're like this, you're manifesting now. You talk about it up here, but you don't say it out here, you're manifesting now. You know what I mean? That's the thing, right? You bottle it up here, it turns into an action now. You see what I'm talking about? Like, if you just keep it up here, you start to see it. You see what I'm talking about? Like, you start to see shit. You manifest things, you know what I mean? You don't just talk about shit, you know, oh, I want to do this, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna get this bitch. Like, you gotta put it up here. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people got twisted. They don't know how to manifest, you know, they don't know how to digest. You see what I'm talking about? A lot of people are like that. And for sure, a lot of people just talk about things because it's an idea. It's like, oh, that's cool. I kind of want to do that. Oh, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? You know, much appreciation. I mean, when KSHOTEM gets to talk about certain things, just know, like, I'm meant to say that. I'm not thinking about anything to say right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's like God's telling me what to tell y'all right now. You know what I mean? Like, this is not like just a normal KSHOTEM talk. You know what I mean? This is like some higher up type shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm connected, you know, spiritually. You know what I mean? Like, I don't be like, it's hard to explain, but I'm definitely, you know, on some different levels sometimes, you know what I mean? But when things come over me and I talk about it and it makes sense, just know it's supposed to be, you know, told to you, you know what I mean? You're supposed to hear it. You're supposed to digest this message right now, you know what I mean? That's why you feeling it right now, you know what I mean? Because it's meant for you to listen to, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, go take it. Yeah. Yeah, everything is driven by something that you can't see. Just like I say, the most powerful things in this world are the things you cannot see. Just like manifesting something, right? You can't see that, but you know what's going on. You know what I mean? It's powerful. You see what I'm saying? So, like like a shadow, right? Like spirits and shit. You can't see spirits, but you could feel them. Energy. You know what I mean? You can feel energy, but you can't see it, you know what I mean? Wind, oxygen, what we breathe, we cannot see it, but it's important, right? We need it. Oxygen, you know what I mean? The wind, we cannot see it. The most powerful things on this planet are the things that we cannot see. We can't physically touch. You see what I'm saying? The things that answer the questions for us without words. You see what I'm saying? The things that answer the question without the word spoken. You digging? Just like maybe like the feeling that you're feeling right now. You know what I mean? You can't see these words. You can't see what I'm talking about, but you feeling it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the most powerful things in this world are the things that you cannot see. You see what I'm talking about? And I always said that. Man, I always said that shit. You know what I mean? So spirits, God, and things like that nature, you know what I mean? You can't see these things, but it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful entity. You know what I mean? Like, it's powerful, man. But you know, those are the things that I'm on. You know, uplifting people, you know what I mean? Opening their mind, Because a lot of people are very narrow-minded and they don't think what's real. They like, I don't know, like, especially the younger generation, like they just like, they want to think whatever and think it's valid. It's like, just because you thought about it and you said it does not make that shit valid. You got to show me it's valid. You got to prove to me it's valid. Just like I say, you know, if you don't got nothing to prove, then you probably don't got nothing to live for. A motherfucker that don't got nothing to prove, he don't got nothing to show. It's just that simple, you know what I mean? Like, the fuck? Like, we always got something to prove on this side. You know, every time we speak, man, we proving something, man. You know what I mean? People that don't got nothing to show for, they don't got nothing to prove. And there's a lot of them out there. A lot of motherfuckers don't got nothing, but they got words. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? I can't stand them type of motherfuckers, you know what I mean? I gotta see what's being talked about. I gotta know what it is. It don't make it valid because somebody said it, you know what I mean? Unless I could see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, straight up. Yep, even God you can't see him, but yep. That's what I'm saying though. The most powerful things is the things that you cannot see in the world, you know what I mean? And once you kind of digest that, you kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, you're in more of a peace of mind now. There's some peace that comes with that. Yeah, there's definitely some peace that comes with that. Because some of your questions may be answered with that statement. Some of your questions might be answered through that by just knowing that. The most powerful things are the things that you can't see. That might have just answered some shit to you. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But it's real. The most powerful things are the things that you just cannot see out here, man. So never overlook something. And you know that saying, seeing is believing, is true, but it's not. It depends on what it is, right? Because things like a higher up, things like oxygen and those things, you don't have to see it to believe it. But now, when it comes from a person, right? Seeing is definitely believing. Because if I can't see it, then I ain't gonna believe it. You see what I'm talking about? Like, but when it comes to like the higher up and the things that we cannot see, those are the strongest things out there. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Kitty? Yeah, those are the strongest things that life has to offer. But see, those are things that doesn't come from a human. You see what I'm saying? But if something comes from a human, it's almost like you have to see it to believe it. Because it's a human. It's not energy. It's not oxygen, you know what I mean? It doesn't have a brain to it, you know what I mean? Where a human got a brain, right? They could play it how they want. So we gotta have to see it. We gotta have to see it. But oxygen and energy, it doesn't have a brain. It can't talk. I believe it. I believe it whenever I feel it. And I love it. You know what I mean? I love it, man. See, I even feel good just by saying that, man. I just got chills. That's how you know how real it is, though. You see what I'm talking about? I couldn't see that, but it made me feel a certain way. You see what I'm talking about? The fuck? It made me feel a certain way, but I could not see that right there. I still feel it. I still feel tingly all over my body. That's God. You see what I'm saying? That's energy. That's things letting me know we connected. You see what I'm saying? And that's some real shit for you. I don't give a fuck what somebody else told you. You know what I mean? You got to tune into self, though. You got to tune into who you are and start living that out. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to tell somebody about a flaw you got. Ooh, that's the best shit. Man, that's the best shit. telling people about your flaws, man, that's the best shit. You want to learn how to be you? Tell people your flaws. Tell them that, you know what I mean? I don't know, like every day you wake up, you got to wipe that ass because, you know, you forgot to wipe last night or some shit. I don't know. Tell people all your flaws, you know what I mean? If you're a girl, let that motherfucker know, like, hey, whenever I wake up, I got to put a weave in. I gotta do this and that, you know what I mean? I gotta put a waist trainer on to da 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 da, and you'll start living your real life, you know what I mean? And then you'll start seeing who really fucks with you for you, right? Who the fuck cares about somebody trying to make you believe some shit, right? For acceptance, fuck all that. If somebody don't love you for you, then it ain't it, you know what I mean? But the minute you can start showing people your flaws, the minute you start being more peaceful with yourself, because now you're not running, you're not worried, you're not running, you don't give a fuck. You're gonna tell somebody whatever, just like me, right? Can't nobody tell me nothing because I already told you. Can't nobody tell me something that I already told you. If I already told you that I live with my family, you know what I mean? If I told you I was on food stamps or some other shit, right? You can't tell me nothing about it because I already told you. So that brings you peace now. It brings you peace knowing that you could be yourself. You could be real without caring about what somebody else got to say or think, right? That brings peace. That brings satisfaction. That brings happiness to you now, you know what I mean? And that's pretty important about life, you know? That's a big key to life, you know what I mean? This whole conversation is brain food for people. All you gotta do is tune in and tap in and listen, you know what I mean? Open up your mind a little bit. Don't be so narrow-minded, you know? The next time you want to disagree with something, open your mind up, step back, you know what I mean? Be like, you know what? Ask questions. A lot of people don't ask questions, they assume. You ain't gonna know the truth by just assuming, right? Sometimes you gotta ask the question. Because that's how you know what's real, right? You start asking shit, you see where people's heads at. You see how they think. You see where they stand. You see what they value. You gotta ask questions, you know what I mean? And I want to say that's something that people don't do on the internet no more. They don't ask questions. Everything's preset. They just believe anything that they fucking see, you know what I mean? And like, I come from a time where they used to say, you know, don't believe everything that you see on the internet. But now everybody believe everything on the internet. That shit crazy, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm out to get off this live for a little bit. I'm gonna go do some things, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be back on the live in a little bit though. So make sure y'all tune in, tap in, hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. You know, Twitch KSHOTEM, YouTube KSHOTEM, and all that, man. Go fucking lock it in, man. You already know, man. It's your boy KSHOTEM. Just thought I'd come for a little spill, you know what I mean? A little hour spill with y'all, you know what I mean? Hey, man, I'm going to be back in a little bit, though, man. So you already know what to do, man. Whenever I come back, man, come back on the live. You already know, man, it's your boy KSHOTEM, and I'm out.